Coaches, Rick Stowers of All Access Coaching. I'm really excited to bring you this free video, and make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data as far as what coaches want. And also, if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing weekly YouTube clinics for free. And if you hit the like and subscribe button, you'll get notified when we upload new content. We're uploading 3 or 4 videos every week.
So running the zone dive right here, I don't know if I showed this one or not, but repetition is the key anyway. Okay, so right here we got 404. So right here, once again, the B-backs reading the first down lineman inside the quarterback's read. There's the quarterback's read. This is on this play, it's the quarterback's imaginary read. Okay, so one of the important things is that the center tight scoops the nose. So he's got to, the important thing is he's got to run his hat through the armpit of the nose or through the peck of the nose, not down the middle. That gets that guy to start moving a little bit, which enhances the zone and gets him to stretch a little bit so you can get the B-back to run behind the nose like this. Now, I have to coach the nose, coach the defensive lineman holding the bags more than anything. But they do a pretty good job for junior college kids. They do a bad job coming off the ball right there. Okay, here we are with a gap-o gap. So sometimes people put people in the gap. I remember a long time ago, we used to have to decide, are we going to read the guy in the gap this week or not? Okay, so if you get a guy in the gap, you can't block the tackle down and let him go block the backer. I call it gap George. So right here, we're going to double the nose. The B-back's still reading the first down lineman inside the quarterback's imaginary read. If you read the guy in the gap, that'd be the quarterback's read right there. So now what we're trying to do is the right guard is supposed to take a flat lateral step, and he's going to drive the inside number of the 4 or the guy in the gap. The right tackle is going to step with his inside foot and drive the outside number of the guy in the gap. And the backer, we're not going to mess with him unless he walks up right here, and then you have to call base, which wouldn't be very good. That's what you'd have to do. Then tight scoop on the backside right here. This guy's route. We're not trying to cut him off right here. I'm telling him to sprint through the butt of that 0 nose. With no 2 or 3 call, he's got to sprint through him. I don't care what he does. He comes out the backside, he keeps going the backside back. See that? Now, if you can imagine this right here, 14, if you ever run the outside veer, we call it 14. If you ever run the outside veer, there's supposed to be another guy there. When junior college, sometimes you don't let people line them up. So the quarterback's reading the outside read key on 14. 22 and 14 are the same. Okay, 22 and 14 are about the same. If you get called for the outside veer and there's no B gap player, it turns into 22 and 23, the zone dive. So right here, if it goes to zone dive, he squares his shoulder in the B gap. If it was the outside veer, he'd be right there. And we'd run the same track. I'm just telling you how it cuts down on teaching too many different things. They do a decent job of coming off the ball right here. This guard right here, he's these 2 guys, this guy made second team, this guy's first team All-Americans. Okay, so now we got a 4-out, we got a shade, we got a 5. So he's going to tee the 5, he's going to zone the 5 to the backer. He's going to tee the shade. Now, if you could let him scramble the guy, left ear over play side hip and scrambling. You could do that, or you could tee. He's looking for the nose to come out the backside because he's scooping, seal the play side, got the backside backer. He's not really blocking the 4. So what I found out is, this backside, they hadn't asked this backside tackle to play defense. And they've asked these 4 techniques for trying to block in games to play defense. He plays defense. So what we do is we tell him to sprint through the butt of this guy. If this guy comes out the backside, he keeps going the backside backer. It allows for him to step, and you saw a step over the boards early in the last session. So he's just going to sprint right there. It allows a lesser athlete to cut off a 4. See that right there? That's important. I don't know if I did a good job coaching the nose right here. If the nose's hat's not that far to the play side, he keeps humming. Okay, here's a zone dive to 5. And shade over here on the left side, the same thing. If you notice, they're kind of coming off the ball for a junior college line. These guys are pretty good because they're starting right, and we everybody ends up seeing square. Center snaps and steps at the same time. This is a good example of the center snapping and stepping at the same time. You got a 3-3 stack. So if somebody played a 3-3 stack with the outside backer and the free safety high, then the tackle veers in for this stack backer to the safety. The A-back goes outside, and you read this guy on the triple. This guard's uncovered by a down lineman and linebacker. He calls base. You got a 0 nose. Okay, same thing if you went to the left. So he'd do the same thing if it was the triple. He'd step inside and spy this guy. The A-back would go outside and be a 2 count right there. But we call that loading the triangle. So that's how the zone dive matches up with the triple. Okay. Okay, here it is over here to the left side. I think we watched it before. I'm just reviewing it. Because every now and then somebody will line up 3-3 stack. You get a little bit of idea of what's going on. This is a good example of the two slanting out and the B-back reading the first down lineman inside the quarterback's read. I'd like for the center to turn up a little faster, but the B-back did a good job of squaring his shoulders right here. So that's the whole idea. Now, the bad thing about it, see what the quarterback did right here? He's looking back at the ball. If he'll put his hands together and sprint to the tackle box, I think he had a pulled hamstring in this game, but if he'll put his hands together and sprint to the tackle box, he'll have a block the safety and make the linebacker. Okay, here's the zone dive right here. This is a 5-3-0-5. What I did, I just named them right across from left to right, I believe. 5-3-0-5, what we got. Okay, B-back does a pretty good job of squaring. So this is the idea of when you sprint cut off on the backside rather than trying to cut off. If you cut off, you try to go cut off the inside hip. But right here, we got the backside tackle sprinting to the butt of the nose to get the backside backer. So what happens is everything gets kind of washed. Here it is from the end zone right here. So basically what we got here is this. We've got a 5, we got a 0, we got a 3, and we got a 5. So we're running over here to the 3. And the gray side guard doesn't have any help. The tackle doesn't have any help. The tackle had a stack right here. You have to zone with himself. Okay, the center's going to tight scoot. The backside tackle scoots. The backside tackle right here is not going. He's going to sprint to the butt of the nose. He's going to try to cut off that backer right there. Okay, but he's a lesser athlete, so he hadn't been asked to play any defense. So you see what happens right here. The nose gets washed a little bit. Nose goes over the play side. The B-back squares his shoulders. He's back in the backside B-gap. He scores. Watch it one more time from the end zone. He did a pretty good job keeping his shoulders square. He sees the nose guard wash. He hunts. Okay, here it is again versus a 0 nose of 2 5s. And there's not a better defense to run the zone dive into than a 0 nose and 2 5. These guys do a pretty good job coming off the ball right here. Once again, if they don't come off the ball, don't try. They do a pretty good job coming off the football. Center's tight scooping. See how the nose runs? You watch this from the end zone right here. So the guard's going to zone this guy to the backer. Now, if this guy gets inside of his line, he'll call off the zone and say, base, base. Because you can't zone out here and then turn back up inside. Okay? Almost had a chance to square back behind the nose right there. Okay, this is with a 404, 0 nose and 2 4s. This is where he kind of comes out. This is when the linebacker kind of, it's the old door drill. Remember, I don't know if y'all, some of y'all remember this. It was the old door drill. They did a tackling drill a long time ago. We used to have one in Auburn while I was there. So you're trying to knock this guy. These two guys are calling gap Georgia base, 4 base, and trying to knock that guy into that guy's lap. So if that linebacker stepping inside, this guy's taking the dive. That's when it start running the triple option over here to the left side. So that I'm trying to get to the point to show you how the zone dive and the triple option match up like we matched it up before. Okay, so they're getting a tower right here. I went to a clinic the other day, or did a clinic the other day. They call this the tower. I don't know if anybody else is doing. So basically, you got some kind of arrangement. You got a 0 nose, you got 2 4s, maybe a couple guys in the gap. You got a linebacker like 5 yards deep. You got a linebacker like 7 or 8 yards deep. Okay. Now this isn't quite as pretty as some of the others, but I think he gets about 4 yards. Okay, and when you run, see, like, I wouldn't like to play this defense because, especially if you're in the midline triple, these two guys won't ever find the ball. Okay, because this guy's behind them. Here's the ref, and this guy's not going to be able to tell which way the ball's going. Plus, if you're on the rocket toss, this guy won't know where the ball's going either. He might see it. Okay, so if you mix in the triple with the zone dive right here, you got to get movement on the guy. See, they knocked this guy about 4 yards off the ball. See him right there? That's the whole idea, to knock him in the linebacker's lap. Watch this guy right. See him knock the guy back? So now the linebacker doesn't have a very good feel. Now the back's a little slow hitting the crack. He ought to be quicker instead of I mean, he's a little hesitant right there. He just ought to go right. He ought to go right off that guy's butt right there. Nothing told him to run the A gap unless he squared his shoulders back here. He ought to hit right there, full speed. He's getting a little hesitant. He got like 4 yards. But see how he ended up running to the inside shoulder of the backer because they knocked the guy in the gap back off the ball. These guys don't have great ability, but they'll play hard. They knock to get into that backer. And the backer doesn't know where the ball is. So this play right here would complement, especially if you're going to read the guy in the gap on the triple. I mean, you could go back and forth, say that guy's a wide 3 or a guy in the gap. You got to make some kind of decision. They ran the midline triple. Okay, and read him on the triple and double team him into the backer on the zone dive. Really, you kind of run the outside veer, which is, I mean, you can run the outside veer, knock this guy into, you might get him to hit it a little quicker. And that would be the read key. Remember, 22 and the zone dive and the outside veer are blocked the same way. Okay, so you don't have to teach 2 different things. Actually, when we were at Georgia Southern, we kept the mesh the same. We just kind of let the quarterback toe into the line of scrimmage.
Coaches, I really hope you got some great information from that YouTube video. Again, hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do free YouTube clinics. And you also get notified when I'm doing those YouTube clinics and when I upload new content to this channel. Thanks for watching, coaches.